So this is a video of something that's very common this time of the year when we all go to start our snow blowers for the first time, coming up in the next maybe month or so here. And what's happening is the snow blower starts and it runs on choke, but when you switch it over to open throttle, turn choke off, the engine stalls out. This is a pretty common problem that's really, in most cases, the result of leaving poor quality fuel in the engine over the summer months once you stop using it after the winter. So here you can see again from the rear side of the snowblower, the engine starts, it runs fine on choke, and as you start moving it over to move the throttle plate over to open throttle position, the engine stalls. Maybe I moved it too slow, here I move it more quickly, and same thing, it sputters out of fuel. So what I'm going to do is, in this video, show you what you need to do to clean the carburetor and make the engine run properly again. And really this whole process only takes about an hour. Well, for the sake of this video, it took about an hour because I took more steps than are really necessary. If you know how to do this, if you've done it before, it could take much less time than that even, but really an hour isn't bad. Here I'm removing the fuel line that supplies fuel to the carburetor. And I'm going to just drain that into a waste oil pan. And the reason that you want to drain all the fuel is because this is really the result of having bad fuel left in the snowblower. So the first thing I'm going to do as I disassemble the carburetor is just drain the fuel that caused the problem in the first place. And after the carburetor has been cleaned, I'll go ahead and refill the tank with good, clean fuel. So here I'm removing the nuts that hold the air inlet assembly to the carburetor. This really isn't a necessary step. In fact, all that you really need to do for this problem is remove the fuel bowl and clean out the nozzle. But for the sake of showing you what exactly is happening, causing this problem, I'm going to go ahead and remove the air inlet assembly so that we can see inside the throttle body in the carburetor. And there's only a couple nuts that hold the air intake assembly on, so it doesn't really add much time to the process anyhow. So you can see that whole air intake assembly is removed already now. The next piece I'm going to take off is the Alright, at this point you can see the throttle plate there, that's open. Here is the choke position where it runs, and again open where the engine stalls. What's happening is that when we open the throttle plate, the engine's able to pull in as much air as it's able to, and it's not getting enough fuel to mix with that air, causing the engine to stall. When the throttle plate's closed, it's only allowed to get a little bit of air in, and it has enough fuel to keep up with that small amount of air. So I've loosened the nut or the bolt on the bottom of the fuel bowl that holds the fuel bowl on. I'm going to just go ahead and let fuel drain past that bolt out of the bowl before I remove the bowl assembly. You want to make sure all the parts are in good condition as you're removing them, and anything that's dirty should be cleaned while you're doing this before putting it back together. So there's the bowl. You can see in the bottom of the bowl it's very dirty, and that's contributing to this problem as well, that debris that's getting in there. So here you can see inside the throttle body now, you see a little copper tube in the middle there, and all I'm doing is running a piece of copper wire up through that nozzle to try and loosen up any debris that's in there. So now you can see the back of my head as I do that, and all my gray hair. So I was able to get that copper wire through there, no problem. Now I'm using an air compressor and a blowgun to just blow through that nozzle and clear any debris out of it. And that's really all that needs to be done to fix this problem, is just clean that nozzle and make sure that fuel can move through it freely so the engine can run. Now I'm just cleaning the bowl. Again, any parts that you find are dirty while you're disassembling, you should be sure to clean them while you're putting it back together. Unless you want to take the carburetor apart again in a few more months or a few weeks, it's worth the extra couple minutes to go ahead and clean all the parts. It doesn't need to be spotless. I mean, discoloration is okay. We just want to remove all the loose debris. Try and get that patina out of the inside of the bowl as much as possible. Alright, so now it's back together. Just put it together opposite of how you took it apart. And I'm going to go ahead and put some clean fuel into the engine. Again, bad fuel was the real root cause of the problem here. So I've got brand new fuel from the gas station. We'll put enough in there to let it run. You can see there's no snow on the ground yet, so I don't want to fill the tank completely up before the snow comes, or it may sit in there longer than I want it to. Really anything more than a couple months could be long enough to cause this problem again. So I'll check my key, make sure that it's clean and fully inserted. We'll go ahead and prime it. And remember, this is the first time that I've tried to start the engine since I cleaned it. And it fires up right away. Right now it's on choke. I'm going to go ahead and slide it over to open throttle position. And there's going to be quite a bit of air in the carburetor system right now, so it's going to take a little bit of time for that air to clear out of the system to get good fuel in again. So it may run a little bit rough during that time, but you can see already that it's running just fine at open throttle position, and as it continues to run, it's going to smooth out and smooth out. Now, even though the snowblower would run on choke, it's not intended to do its job on choke. It's not going to have enough power to move the snow. So that's really why I'm going through and cleaning it up to make sure I can run it at open throttle. So that when I actually begin moving snow this winter, it's going to have the power that it needs. And now you can really tell the difference as I move it between choke and open throttle. There's a significant difference in how much power you can hear with the engine running. And I pull the key and it shuts off, so everything's working great. And that's really all there is to it. Again, this is about an hour job, minimal tools, saves you from buying a new